Let me bring in Congressman Adam Schiff, Democrat from California and a member of the Appropriations Committee. Always good to see you, Congressman. Good morning.
Good morning.
Realistically, from where you stand right now, are we going to be able to avoid a shutdown, or is it a done deal?
Well, it's still possible. It will require one of two things. The Republicans have another conference and decide to send a clean bill back to the Senate, or a clean bill.
And what are the chances do you see that happening?
Well, it could be a clean bill with a fig leaf, and I don't know what the fig leaf would look like. The chances, I don't know, I'd probably say are about 35% that having slept on the matter, Republicans have come to see it's a mistake. Politically, it's going to be a disaster for them. But EJ is exactly right. This isn't a compromise negotiation. This is really an extortion attempt. And if the president relents this time, it will be just another extortion attempt on the debt ceiling. If the majority party isn't willing to govern, and right now they're not, they're just going to have to be replaced, because we can't keep going through these shutdowns, this artificial man-made crises which suppress our economic recovery. It's just completely irresponsible, and we're going to have to get past it. But right now, I think the odds are there will be a shutdown, just a question of whether it will be shut down for minutes, hours, or days.
Well, you suggested that there were two things that could avoid it. One, you said, and when I interrupted you, that they send a clean bill. There's another path you see to avoiding a shutdown?
Well, you know, they could pass a clean bill with some kind of a fig leaf, something that gives them at least the patina of claiming success here. But the bottom line is, on what you usually negotiate in terms of a resolution to keep the government funded, is what's the funding level going to be? And they've already won that fight. They can claim that as a victory. Democrats don't want the post-sequester levels that are going to devastate social services, that bring us down to levels of discretionary non-defense spending we haven't seen since Eisenhower. Well, the Republicans have gotten that. But they can't take that for a victory. Instead, they want to use this process of keeping the government open to get something they don't have the votes for, which is repealing or delaying or attacking the health care reform. And we just can't operate that way as a country. Even if we don't shut down, I think some of the damage has already been done, because, you know, the markets, other nations around the world are losing confidence in our ability to govern rationally. And this has just got to come to an end.
Well, while the countdown clock is ticking, there are not just a few Republicans who are blaming the Democrats, and they say it's on you if the shutdown happens. Let me play a little bit of sound for you, Congressman.
Right now, the Democratic position is they're not going to negotiate over anything. It's not as if there's been a counteroffer, there's been any discussions. The president's sort of AWOL and all this.
On the other side, what have the Democrats compromised on? Nothing. Zero. Their position is absolutely no matter what. How is that compromise?
You heard what Tom Cole had to say, that the president has been AWOL in all this. Do you think he needs to get involved in a different way?
Well, Tom Cole's also said, I think, that he thinks it's a mistake for the Republicans to hold up this shutdown as leverage to try to get something completely unrelated to the budget. No, I think the president's done the right thing. In fact, I think the president's done the only thing he can, unless he wants to invite this kind of extortion attempt on the next continuing resolution, on the debt ceiling debate. It has to come to an end, and the president's been very clear about this. If we were going to have a traditional negotiation, it might have looked different. The Senate might have put in a higher number to keep the government running, and the House could have said, no, we want the lower number, and then we would have compromised at a number in the middle. That would be a rational process of negotiation. We've given them what they want on the number, and now they're seeking to extort something completely unrelated to the budget, and that's just not going to work. I think the best that the GOP can do if they shut us down is try to point the finger of blame elsewhere. But frankly, I think the American people aren't going to buy it. This is just a repeat of the petulance we saw with Newt Gingrich, and I think it will be a disaster for the GOP. But more important, it's going to be a disaster for the country, and I hope that the majority leadership gets that message quickly so the damage at least can be minimized.
Congressman Adam Schiff, always good to see you. Thanks very much.